Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. Today, we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. You may have seen Lamar Jackson, who was the 2019 NFL MVP, arguably the best quarterback, if not one of the top three best quarterbacks in the NFL, is leaving the Baltimore Ravens. And the other crazy thing about Lamar Jackson is that as I was going through and kind of studying and analyzing what's happening with Lamar Jackson's financial life, I made a big page full of notes, and I gotta just break this down for y'all because the financial implications and the financial twists and turns of Lamar Jackson's $200 million decision are just really interesting. They make for a great financial lesson. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're gonna get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under the B1 condition. B1 means we are Black first. Black first also means we educate our kids. Black first means that we also prepare for the future. Black first means that we want to be financially intelligent. If you agree with that philosophy, put a B1 in the chat. Hashtag B1. Shout out the city that you're from. Let me know what city you're from. And let's get started here. Okay, so what's up, Jermaine and Lisa Parker? How are you? And let's see, someone says, Tariq warned us about you. Well, you need to be quiet because Tariq Nasheed is my buddy. So you can just take that fake news somewhere else, man. People always trying to instigate, always trying to start stuff. I'm gonna be speaking at Tariq's event in Houston in a few weeks. I gotta go check my calendar. I think Tariq's doing a thing. So that's my man Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to him in his Black Hidden History Museum and all that other stuff. So don't be coming up in there with that hate. We ain't paying no attention to none of that. Player haters get squashed up in this place. All right. So anyway, let's keep going. All right. So Lamar Jackson. How many of y'all know who Lamar Jackson is? How many of y'all follow Lamar Jackson? How many of y'all watch NFL at all and stuff like that? Lamar Jackson is a bad boy, and I'm really proud of him because he's actually from he played at Louisville, where I'm from. I'm a born and raised Louisville kid, Louisville Cardinal fan, all that stuff. And so when I saw Lamar go out there and just dominate the way that he did, I was super impressed by that. And I've been really happy for him and really watching his career for a long time. Now, here's the interesting thing about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is literally a guy who is in the NFL right now signing, 100, $200 million contracts, and he does not have a sports agent. He has no sports agent at all. It's crazy to me. I've never really seen. I mean, I guess it's happened, but it's a pretty big risk, right? That he's got no agent, but not having an agent means that's one less person to pay, and it's not like Lamar is not going to make money without an agent. Although some might argue that not having an agent could limit his access to opportunities, particularly if you talk about some of the best agents and what they allegedly can do for you. I don't know. I'm not judging that part. I just thought it was very interesting. So, the big news recently is that Lamar Jackson's leaving. Well, he's requesting a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. So, he's not necessarily leaving per se. It looks like he's requesting a trade. Whether or not he leaves will kind of be an iffy thing. That's a big deal because he's one of the best quarterbacks out there. And I said, wow, that's really interesting. So what's his situation? I knew he was negotiating his next contract and all that stuff. And I figured he'd get a deal where he's making at least as much as the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. Is he the best quarterback in the NFL? I don't think so. I think Patrick Mahomes kind of owns that spot right now. And I mean, there's some other quarterbacks that are just amazing. There's some black quarterbacks that are great, and then there's even Joe Burrow down in Cincinnati. He's an amazing quarterback. There are a lot of good quarterbacks. But anyway, here's the deal. So Lamar requested the trade, and that's neither here nor there. That's kind of the football side of things. If you're a football fan, you appreciate that. But here's the financial side. You guys know that there are financial lessons in everything, and I found it really intriguing. The finance professor in me stepped out and really started taking note of how the negotiation was going and how Lamar was negotiating his contract. And it also made me think about something that you may not necessarily connect right away, but it does connect to what we've been going through recently with the banking crisis. And that is a word called risk. And a lot of times in a contract negotiation, There's literally been thousands of research papers written about how risk is transferred from one party to another in a negotiation. And also in negotiation, there's something called optimal contracting. And optimal contracting is deeply connected to how you manage the risk and how you protect yourself and how you use your power and your leverage and you deal with another concept called moral hazard and stuff like that. So I was seeing all these things popping in my brain as I was reading up on Lamar's situation. So here's the deal, right? So Lamar is it's a little bit of a controversy. I think right now the NFL went and told the other teams that they have to negotiate directly with Lamar because he is his own agent. So I guess according to the NFL, they have a rule. I'm not an expert on all their rules. They have a rule that says, you know, you have to talk to specific people if you are negotiating to bring in a certain player. Since Lamar is his own agent, you have to talk to Lamar. So that means you can't talk to anybody on his behalf or whatever. And so one of the things that was interesting was that Lamar turned down. Get this. Let me tell you about the contract he turned down. It was really interesting. It was $133 million at signing, like literally $133 million. Like here's a check for $133 million. That's kind of cool. And at least $175 million guaranteed, and it would go up to $200 million total if he plays, I guess, in the fifth game or something, or takes the fifth snap or something like that in the year 2026 or something like that. I can't remember, but it was a big amount of money. It was like I was like, wow, are they making this much money now? And from what I understood, that deal is only number two to Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson plays for the Cleveland Browns, and his deal is like $230 million. I think it's all guaranteed, and that was a huge risk on the part of the Browns because even as the time Deshaun was being traded, he had a lot of these ugly, allegations against him involving a bunch of women. I keep telling y'all, brothers, be careful, man. You get all this money, all these girls gonna want to be around you, but you put in your wealth at risk when you're not checking carefully about the people you allow to be close to you. Don't catch yourself looking like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby worked 50, 60 years as an entertainer to build his wealth, all to watch his entire legacy get destroyed, all his resources be taken, his whole family get embarrassed, and for him to lose everything, all because he wasn't careful about the women that he let around him. So I'm just here to say, I really think that you really want to make sure you understand the connection between who you keep as your company and how your wealth goes. You can't keep your wealth if you letting crazy people around you or people around you who are going to be predators. That's just what it is. So Deshaun Watson, I hope he watches his back. But anyway, so this contract was really good. It was a lot of money. And I was looking at it, I said, okay, this is pretty good. I said, what does he want? Well, it turns out that what he wants what Deshaun Watson got. He wants 100% guaranteed. Like, I don't want anything to be up for question. 133 million at signing is nice, but I need, I guess with Deshaun, 230 million. I need $250 million guaranteed money, period. I said, well, he's Lamar Jackson. That's, you can't get much better than that. Maybe that makes sense for him, right? So here's what's interesting about this, right? So right now, like, so if Lamar stays with the Ravens, he's gonna get $32 million under this non-exclusive franchise tag that he has. And if he goes to another team and gets another offer, the Ravens basically have 5 days to match the offer. If they don't match the offer in 5 days, then they get two first-round draft picks as compensation because they're going to lose their quarterback. And it's hard for regular people to, any of us, to understand any of that because none of us is signing any kind of contract making $32 million. That's a lot of money. Now, the interesting thing about that, though, is, I started really thinking about Lamar's request to get all of his money guaranteed. And what's interesting is I wonder what's really going on here is that there is what is called a moral hazard problem here, where the Ravens may be feeling like, well, you want everything to be guaranteed. Why do you want all your money guaranteed? Why don't you want any of your compensation to be dependent upon your ability to play? So then I looked at Lamar's track record for the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, Lamar has missed, I think, 11 games because there are questions about whether or not he's able to stay healthy enough to even get on the field. And given that Lamar, this is such a financial theory issue, I promise you, it's so many topics we studied in graduate school that are just coming to mind, like another theory called the lemon theory. What's really going on here, I think, or could be going on, is that they're looking at him and they're saying, okay, you need everything to be guaranteed, and we don't know your body. We know what you tell us about what's happening in your body, but we don't really know what you know, right? Like if you got an extra ache or an extra pain or a part of your body that's barely holding on, you may not tell us that. But the fact that you really want every single penny to be guaranteed no matter what, and you've been injured a lot more than a lot of other quarterbacks have been. You missed 11 games in the last 2 years, which is a large number of games over a 2-year period. I don't care what you say, that's a lot of games. I think the Ravens are feeling a little bit of, in finance, we call that risk aversion. They're feeling like, I don't really know if this is a deal that we want to sign. I don't know if we really want to be the team that's going to give you that guaranteed deal that Deshaun Watson gets. So what's interesting is that, you're gonna, I think you're seeing also a scenario where I don't know if any team is going to give Lamar Jackson a guaranteed deal like that. I think a lot of them are going to think about the basic things that I just described to you. And remember, football ain't about just winning. These teams don't care just about winning. Football is a business. Football is a business. They care about being profitable. In fact, I pulled up a list of the most profitable NFL teams. As I pull this up, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. If you really want to understand risk and you want to learn about stock options, I'm doing a stock options training camp that starts on Thursday in the Black Business School. So you can either go to my website, boycewatkins.com, and sign up. If you're on Instagram, hit the link in the bio if you'd like to join us. It's boycewatkins.com, or you can go to stockoptionstrainingcamp.com. All right, so the most profitable team in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys. They make an insane amount of income, which is a little more than $250 million a year profit, $280 million in operating income. Now, after that is the New England Patriots, who make $142 million in operating profit. The Jacksonville Jaguars come third at $69 million. Now, if you remember, most years the Jacksonville Jaguars are not a very good team. The Jacksonville Jaguars usually suck, but yet they're making money. So that's probably why they're okay sucking. They're okay with sucking because they're like, look, to get the best players, we're gonna have to go jack up another big gigantic check. We don't want to write a $200 million check to get a player that's gonna help us win, but give us what is referred to in economics as the winner's curse. The winner's curse is where you win, but you really lose. It's like if you're trying to date the prettiest girl on campus, but the prettiest girl on campus expects to go to, $300 steakhouses and wants a Gucci purse every week. So you might get the prettiest girl, but you're going bankrupt at the same time trying to date the prettiest girl. So that is when you are a victim of the winner's curse, or you're trying to date the guy that all the girls want, but it turns out that this guy is a spoiled brat and a jerk, right? And he ruined your life. Well, that's the winner's curse. So in the NFL, Lamar Jackson could, for the team that gets him, become the winner's curse. That's my point. He's a quarterback that is very good. Like, I love him. I really do. He played in Louisville. I'm from Louisville. I want to see him do well. But he's asking for, the absolute max of any quarterback in the NFL. He's saying, look, I want every single penny to be guaranteed. I think he's asking for that because he knows what everybody else knows, that he's not as durable as he was when he was younger. He's only going to get older, and that the team that signs him to a guaranteed deal is going to have to pay him no matter what. And if you want to ever be pissed off, go out and pay $250 million to a quarterback that ain't even helping you win no games. Go out and pay hundreds of millions of dollars to somebody who's literally decorating your bench while you got to go pay more money to go get another quarterback to replace the quarterback that should have been playing. That'll make you mad. So I kind of think that's what's happening here. I kind of see another concept in finance that we used to talk. Well, actually, excuse me, a couple of concepts. One was the winner's curse. We talked about that. Another was optimal contracting, which is basically that you make the best deal when you're in a position of power. So right now, Lamar is kind of in the driver's seat in his career. He can kind of ask for whatever he wants to ask for. So his goal is to create an optimal contract for himself that will protect him in case he gets injured. But the other parties are also trying to do optimal contracting. They're thinking, we don't want to be stuck holding the bag in the event that you get injured again and we end up having to pay you to do nothing. So that's another one is moral hazard. And moral hazard is basically connected to another concept called information asymmetry. And information asymmetry says that there is an imbalance in the information that Lamar has about his body than the teams have. So Lamar knows exactly what's going on in his body. Lamar may know about injuries he has that he hasn't told his team about. The teams don't know about all this. They can do the physicals, they can ask him questions, but a lot of times, think about it. I mean, think about it like this. When you go and you apply for a job, do you tell them every single thing about you that might not make you the best employee? Like, like if you're a person who might go off and cuss your boss out one day, are you going to mention that on your job application? If you're a person who might, take some extra sick days because you want to watch the game or go on a trip, are you going to put that? Are you going to mention that during the interview? No, you're not going to do any of that. You're going to hide all of that, right? You're going to put your best foot forward because you want them to evaluate you based on the best you have to offer, not the worst. Well, the same thing is true, I would imagine, when you're talking about a player trying to be signed by a team. If he has an injury that nobody else knows about, he's going to hide that until after he signs the deal. If he has something he's mad about, something that may make him act out, he's not going to act out until he signs the deal. I remember when Antonio Brown was the guy that just really confused me. I think the poor guy probably has a lot of brain injuries. That's probably why he acts so crazy. But Antonio Brown, before he got his big contract, he was playing so hard. He was well disciplined. He was a great team player. And then I think somebody said, if you give him money, he's gonna act a fool. Don't give him all that money because he's not gonna be the same player. As soon as he signed that contract, he just started acting an ass. He just his whole everything changed because then at that point it's like, well, you can't do nothing to me now. So whatever. And I've seen that actually happen in business too, where I might work with somebody and when they're trying to either get something from you or they haven't accomplished much yet, you'll see a lot of humility, like a lot of graciousness, like, oh, thank you. And yeah, I just want to be a good person and I just want to be a team player, blah, blah, blah. But then like they get a little bit of success or you give them a little bit of power and then their whole personality changes. So really that's just a little business tip. When you do business, don't make the same mistake I did because I made that mistake where I didn't pay enough attention to the cues. Now I lean on my wife. My wife is a therapist. And now when my wife looks at people and evaluates them, if she warns me and says, stay away from that person or watch out for that person, I back away. I don't do business with them anymore. Because what has happened is there have been times where I did do business with somebody and she saw a red flag that I didn't even notice. Maybe with their gait, maybe something, the way they treated another person or whatever. And she would warn me, like, hey, I think you may want to back away from that person. I'd be like, oh, it's okay. He's a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. And then later on, everything just kind of went crazy. Right. So ultimately, this is another sort of issue that might come up, I imagine, when you're talking about signing contracts that involve lots and lots of money. Money changes people's personality. Power changes people's personality. Fame will change somebody quick. I've seen people that when they got a little bit of internet fame, like they got their first 10,000 followers, you couldn't tell them nothing no more. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. So anyway, guys, that's it. I wish Lamar Jackson the best. I think he deserves everything he's asking for. I wouldn't give him a guaranteed deal because I think he's going to get injured, to be honest with you. There's a good chance of that happening. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the team to the Super Bowl. And I think he's one of the best out there. So anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. And if you want to join us at the Stock Options Training Camp, we start on Thursday. It's 2 days. We meet for 2 Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, right online. So you can do it from anywhere on earth. Stock options are great. That's a great thing to add to your portfolio. I can teach you all about it. So feel free to join us. Just go to boycewatkins.com. Also, my new book is called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. You can find that on Amazon. It's a best-selling book. I know you're going to like that too. So anyway, have a good day, guys. It's great talking to you, and I will see you soon. Be good. Peace.